Well, hi there. Welcome to another edition of Hard Drive. Cayuga Motorsports Park is over 55 years old and has gotten better nearly every year. As you can see behind me, the facility keeps growing and getting better and more fan-friendly. Everybody can remember a weekend at Cayuga, and if you can't, you need to get here and have one. We're going to test the Camaro project here, probably for the final time this year before something else happens to it that's just as nutty. Andy and Hugh are here, all that and a whole lot more on Hard Drive. They were racing these cars on the drag strip back in the day, and Camaro and Mustang fans witnessed these wars at Toronto Motorsports Park 5 and 10,000 at a time. Now the interior, all business. It's got decent belts that are going to hold you in the seat, but I like the fact that the period seats were in there. Mark Donohue sat in a seat like that when he and Craig Fisher won the 12 Hours of Sebring in the first Trans Am race for the 68. But look at the way the car arrived at the track. Now, the car's been giving us fits all week. It's developed a low-end stumble all the way up to 3,500 RPM. The good news is you've got 4,000 RPM after that 3,500 line, and we felt we could drive it that way, but we thought it'd be worth towing it out to the track just so that we could get this test done. And when we hit the track and figured out where and when to drive around that stumble, it started to come back to us. Take a listen to this. Now that is a John Rossiter built V8, and it's made to make horsepower. It makes about 420, 450 horsepower, about the same number in torque, which is plenty for these cars. The Trans Am cars may not have been making that kind of horsepower back in the day. But as you can see here, we still have a ways to go with shocks and maybe a track bar to get that car planted down on the racetrack. But then again, it does more than just go to the racetrack. It also has to be a streetable car, and I think that kind of suspension flexibility is going to help out in this case. Braking, fine. Going through this chicane, did it fine. Didn't upset the car too much at all, but what really pays off is at full horsepower. And that's what the guys liked about it too. They had an opportunity to drive the car. I'm talking about Andy and that pommy bastard Hugh Evans, and we'll hear what they had to say about it.
I wasn't even born when this 1968 Camaro was built, but I have to tell you, after spending some time behind the wheel today, it's an experience unlike anything else. The car is loud, proud, and unabashedly American.
My co-driver Hugh has gone on all day about how the fact that this car was already 6 years old when he was born. It's made him act like a 6-year-old all day. I'm a little closer to the age of this car. I could have been conceived in the back seat of this thing if it actually had one. This car is a throwback to the old days about cams, carbs, cubes, and compression. Even the fuel that this car was originally designed with doesn't exist anymore. But over 4 decades, you can teach an old car some new tricks, and the old owner, that dog's learned some new tricks too.
And from driving it, you get a sense of just how difficult and how tiring it must have been to pilot one of these things in the Trans Am series back in the late 60s. And compared to most of the modern cars that we drive on this show, it really is something out of this world.